Welcome back to another edition of my video game reviews. We're about to review a game that takes us back to 30 years ago. Killer Instinct, a game that takes us back to the year 1994. Killer Instinct. This is the one fighting game series that people don't really talk about that much because they must have forgot about Killer Instinct, or they probably think that this video game series doesn't even exist. Looking back on it 30 years later, because people be talking about fighting game series like Super Smash Brothers, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, but they damn sure don't never talk about Killer Instinct that much. They must have forgotten about that video game series. I'm one of those 90s kids that has not forgot about Killer Instinct, because I used to play this game all the time back when I used to have the Super Nintendo. Well, I played the arcade version first, before I used to own the Super Nintendo version. So, do this game still hold up 30 years later? You're about to find out right now in my review of Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is a series of fighting games originally created by Rare and published by Nintendo, Xbox Game Studios, and the now defunct Midway. The arcade version was released on October 28, 1994. The Super Nintendo version was released in North America on August 30th, 1995, in Europe on September 21st, and in Australia sometime in 1995. The Game Boy version was released in North America in November 1995 and in the UK on December 14th. Its sequel, Killer Instinct 2, was released in the arcade in North America and Europe in January 1996. The Nintendo 64 version was released as Killer Instinct Gold in North America on November 25th, 1996, Australia on May 9th, 1997, and in the UK on Independence Day, 1997. The series was rebooted in 2013 for the Xbox One and was released on November 22nd. Just like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct features a one-on-one combat. Instead of winning 2 rounds, each player has 2 life energy bars. The first energy bar becomes green, and then the second one becomes yellow-orange. The bar becomes red when you're in danger. Each player, after they after their life energy bar becomes empty, each player can defeat their opponent by using an ultra combo, humiliation, or their fatality. The characters that are in Killer Instinct are Jago, TJ Combo, Orchid, Chief Thunder, Fulgore, Spinal, Riptor, Saberwolf, Glacius, Cinder, and Idol was the boss of the first game. I don't know who the other characters are because I've never played the Xbox One version. The positive of Killer Instinct. Players win by making their opponent's life energy bars become empty instead of going by 2 rounds. Just like Mortal Kombat, players can finish off their opponents by using a fatality, or just use ultra combos or humiliation. The graphics are spot on and the character roster is amazing. The negative that I have on Killer Instinct was, in the versus mode, you cannot play as Idol unless you enter like a cheat code or something to play as him. Looking back on this 30 years later, like I said, Killer Instinct is one of the most slept on video game fighting series that people don't talk about. I think Killer Instinct deserves more recognition, and I think it deserves another game because it's been 11 years, or nearly 11 years, since the last Killer Instinct game came out. They should make another one and put it on the Switch, the PS4, the PS5, and the Xbox One. Or release a Killer Instinct compilation game of the classic arcade game, the Super Nintendo version, the sequel, Killer Instinct 2. Yeah, they should make a compilation of Killer Instinct in honor of its 30th anniversary, in my opinion. The Killer Instinct series gets an official rating of a 10 out of 10. Easily. Next game I'm going to review is a request by one of you, and that is the Tony Hawk's Underground series. I'm going to review Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2 coming Friday, October 25th. What are your thoughts about Killer Instinct looking back on it 30 years later? Does it still hold up 30 years later? Do you think it deserves a compilation game of the first 2 Killer Instinct games? Just let me know. Thank y'all for watching. Have yourselves a good night and take care. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. No more talk.